Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, or Expert, and today we're doing something a little bit different. Because obviously, Grandcross content in terms of the well itself isn't that great, isn't that big. It's pretty shallow, actually. So I want to try something different for today. I want to try more of a commentary style video. Now, this isn't my first time doing a commentary style video. I've done it multiple times in the past, like my honest opinions about Grandcross and stuff like that. And this is kind of going to be similar to that, but this is more like a quote-unquote drama talk, right? Because this isn't really a drama talk. This is more or less me getting my opinions out there about the game as a whole and this current update that we're in, aka 780 Sins X, the Eminence in Shadow. Yes, this update is a very big disappointment in my opinion, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. My thoughts on how predatory this update really is on paper, and it's not like what it could mean going forward in Grandcross, because this is like literally the first time I've ever seen this happen to this extent. And what do I mean by this, right? And that's what this video is going to be today. Because obviously we have the Eminence In Shadow Collab, which consists of Sid, aka Shadow, the first leader Alpha, and the second, or not leader, the first soldier Alpha and the second soldier Beta, obviously. And with this collab, I don't know about but I have been seeing a lot of negativity around this update. But me personally I want two things I want to talk about with this update. One would be the rates of the banner, and two being the fear of missing out and how predatory this update really is. Okay? Now, be sure to like and subscribe, comment down below, because we're going to get into this little topic. I don't know how long this is going to be, but I'm just going to get my thoughts out there, and hopefully we can have a civil conversation in the comment section below or in my Discord server, which is in the description as well, and we can talk about how this update really made people feel. Because I can honestly go to Reddit, I can go to the Facebook groups, I can go to anything, and I can tell y'all just how bad people are struggling with this collab update. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, starting off with the first major problem for most free-to-play players in general, it's the banner. The banner is just bad, bro. Not only is the characters on the banner bad, but the rates are atrocious. The amount of people I've seen do a full rotation and pull nothing is crazy. And you can argue this sentiment, right? Because the rates for collab banners has never changed. They probably changed one time in like the last 2 or 3 years, but other than that, in the last 2 or 3 years, these rates have not changed. These have been the same rates throughout every single collab banner since they decided to up the rates by like 0.5 or some shit like that, which happened 2-3 years ago. So it's not even something it's not worth mentioning, right? This is just bad though. 3% rate with a 0.25 per character, and then everyone else is a 0.18. And I kid you not, even when I did my summons on my main account, right? This is my second rotation. I did a rotation and a half. It took me that long to pull all 3 of these characters. But not only that, I did a full rotation and I did not pull a single copy. How I managed to pull all the characters is shout out to my community, because they did help me out in the funds of this, because I'm just not putting money into this game right now because I don't have the funds to do that at the moment as I used to. But literally, I did 300 gems on my own, and then my Discord community helped me out, did the other half. I pulled nothing, so for my guaranteed, I pulled Beta, because I felt like Beta was going to be the long-lasting unit, and if I don't get any of them, I'd rather get Beta, right? And during this part, I pulled another Beta copy, and then I pulled another Alpha. So I have Alpha, and then I pulled another Alpha copy. So I pulled 2 Alphas and 2 Betas out of a rotation and a half, which in hindsight is not horrible, but it is for my sake, because I don't care if these characters are 2/6 or not. I just want a copy of every character for box purposes. So 1/6 I do not care, because I don't play PvP like that. 2/6 I do not care, because I don't play PvP. So I have both Alpha, Beta, and I have 2 coins. So now all I need is to pull 1 collab character, and then I will be happy. So what I decided to do is do another rotation. So I misspoke. This is my 3rd rotation on this banner. I did one half free. The other half of that first rotation was thanks to my mods. The second rotation I did because I just decided to say fuck it, I'm gonna go into my savings. I did something stupid, did another rotation, didn't pull shit, pulled alpha for the guarantee. Now this is my third rotation and I still did not pull Sid, so I had to buy the extra superpower ticket to guarantee a collab character so I can change all 3 of those coins into Sid. And even when I did that, I pulled another beta. So I used 3 copies to get Sid. I have not pulled Sid out of the draws itself. That being said, right, what does this have to do with my overall point? Because obviously I'm yapping. My point is this banner is horrible. That's the main focus of this banner. I did 2.5 rotations and I got all of them 1/6 practically because I had to use my dupes to get Sid because I could not pull Sid to save my life. That's a problem, obviously, because not every free-to-play can do this. And in a different scenario, this wouldn't be a problem. But this is where this all ties up into the major problem in this video. This would not be an issue with these rates if they didn't make alpha and beta mandatory units for the Endura fight. And that is the biggest thing I've ever seen, and no one's talking about it. And that's why I want to talk about it, because genuinely speaking, the fact that we have collab characters that are mandatory for a PvE activity that is indefinitely staying in the game is the saddest thing I've ever seen in Marvel do from this game. And there's a few big points to this reasoning, right? Number one being, not everyone can pull alpha and beta. A lot of people are free to play. A lot of people just spent a lot of gems on hell and tier. And then for those 2 good banners back to back just to get another banner that's pretty decent, and you need the characters to do Endura on the easiest difficulty, it's already a sham. It's already fucked. So now there's a bunch of free-to-play players that cannot do Endura because they cannot pull alpha or beta because they don't have gems. And if anyone tries to pull the oh, they should have saved their gems because they knew the collab was coming, that argument is so irrelevant to the major point, for the simple fact of the 2 banners before it is also units that are really important for this new PvE content, floor 4 of bird or deer, floor 4 of deer. You cannot give me that argument. You just can't, right? Now, let's break it down since Hell dropped as the unit to come out with floor 4 of deer. So a lot of people summoned on Hell so they can do floor 4 of deer. And then Tier came out immediately after Hell, and the content creators and everyone else and their damn dad, moms, sisters, and cousins started saying, oh, Tier is better than Hell for deer. So now a lot of players are like, damn, I just got Hell, but if Tier is better for Hell or deer and it makes deer easier, then I might as well summon on Tier as well, so I can get Tier and make my floor 4 farming easier. So now these other free-to-play players, not only did they summon on Hell, and they summoned on Tier. And I don't care about this argument, so I'm gonna put that out there, saying that, oh, free-to-play players should pick and choose what banners they summon. This argument does not hold into the account of a PvE experience. Now, if you're a PvP player as a free-to-play, yeah, you should obviously pick and choose your characters. But when it comes to PvE content, you need to pull the mandatory characters. There is no should I summon scenario when it comes to PvE based characters. It's always a, if you summon for this character, your life will be so much easier. It's like, for example, the amount of people that skipped Blue Valenti because they thought she would be, you know, replaced later for Squirrel. And I don't know, a year later, she is still the most used, most mandatory character for Squirrel. And that's going to be the same thing for Hell and Tier. Tier more than Hell, but you know, people that didn't summon on Tier got Hell, vice versa. These things will fall in line. So when I bring up the Shadow Garden characters, because again, I started yapping for a little bit there, I need to get back on the point. I need to wrap up my thoughts. So Shadow Garden as a collab, as a update, is shit. Not only are alpha and beta, you know, pretty fucking mandatory for Endura, Sid is whatever, right? Sid is the decent PvE character or PvP character for geared. In ungeared, he's okay. I've seen better. But mainly if you play geared, that's where Sid's going. But other than that, he's not a PvE unit, so you don't need him for your box as a whole. But now, everyone that's summoned on Hell and Tier are missing out on these characters. And the problem then turns into, well, if I don't pull these characters, how am I ever going to do Endura? And that's a great fucking question, because funny enough, right? If you look at Endura on the easiest difficulty, it'll tell you right here, the advantageous race is Goddess. That's not true. That's not true at all. Do not fucking read into this. This is the biggest scam in the entire game. Now, people are going to tell you that, oh, we can beat it with Goddess, but guess what? They're using the Goddess, and what is the other team using on that two-man setup in that deathmatch? If they're using the Goddess team, the only way for them to win with a Goddess team, after extensive testing with my friend Workbest, shout out to him, we've tried Goddesses, we tried Fairies, we tried Humans, we tried Unknowns, we tried every single team imaginable for this, and the only way to beat it with a fodder team like that is to have Alpha and Beta on your team. Because for some unknown reason, Karma sometimes just misses Fairy based units, so I think Fairy units are just straight up immune to the Karma effect of Endura of Retribution, but I could be wrong. I'm not going to put that in stone. I'm not going to say that is definitively how that works, but from what we've seen, and whenever I use a full Fairy team, the Karma misses, and whenever you don't use a full Fairy team, the Karma pretty much stacks every other turn, and it's crazy. So if you don't pull Alpha, at the very least, you're fucked. Because you can replace Beta with Nanashi or Helbram, that's fine, but Alpha is a must for Endura. There is no fucking Goddess team that works. And even if you look up like let's say, I couldn't go to it right now, but yeah, I guess I wouldn't be able to show you at all. But if you look at the recommended team, when you look at the Endura section, it'll show you all these teams, and every single team except for 2 have Alpha on it, which is this Mazino team, which by the way doesn't work unless you have a Alpha teammate, and then the Goddess team, which doesn't work unless you have an Alpha teammate. So literally, you are fucked if you don't pull these 2 characters for this PvE activity. And now to play devil's advocate, right? The demon itself isn't that great with rewards, right? You're pretty much doing a 5 to 7 minute demon deathmatch for literal scraps, right? Because you need 12 of the broken shards to make 1 SA coin. But think about it this way. Where else are you farming SA coins? There's not that many places to get SA coins from. So when you get them, when you can get them, that's a W nonetheless. There's no if, ands, or buts about it. If you can get the coin, that's a win. There's no like, oh, you're fighting for scraps. No, that argument is irrelevant in the terms of the full game itself. Because you know how many times people are just running out of SA coins? Like for instance, this collab, you had to fully awaken, super awaken 3 units. And for people that don't know calculations, a unit at 1/6, you need 64 SA coins to SA 6 a character. So if you didn't go into this collab with 180 SA coins just chilling in your box, you are not super awakening all 3 of these characters unless you start digging into your gold and your silver tokens or your unused SSR token. But 9 times out of 10, you don't have 180 SA coins because there's just not that many places to get SA coins from other than dungeons and events. And that's literally the problem that I have with this update. Because now, if you don't pull on these characters, if you don't pull Alpha, if you don't pull Beta, how will you ever beat Endura, right? Without a hyper carry teammate, you're not going to have a fun time doing Endura. And it's going to be very RNG dependent on if you die to Karma or not, or if the team that's carrying you can clear it fast enough. Because if the phases last for longer than 7 turns, you pretty much get one-shotted because the Karma stacks up every turn. And I think it's 10% of your max HP every single time. So, you know, math. 10 turns is the most you can do per phase, or you will just die. And it's really stupid because if you don't pull these characters, you're just fucked. And that brings me to the main reason I'm making this video, is because like I wasn't going to make this video until lame ass motherfuckers started talking about leaks. And so unfortunately for me, we know the next character, and the because you can't avoid leaks in this fucking community. You just can't. It doesn't matter if I block everyone on socials. My Discord will talk about them, even though I tell them explicitly leaks are not recommended. People just love to talk about it though. It's a big server. You can't monetize, or you can't moderate everyone, especially when you're not as active as me. But literally, the next character is Kid Tristan. So either they're fixing Kid Tristan to be a demon and goddess, that would be amazing. I would wish they fixed Kid Tristan to do that, but I think he's still gonna be an unknown. So my initial thoughts on this was like, I'm gonna hold off on this video, because if we get the other leaked fucking character, which is the Bon Elaine dual unit, and from my assumption, that unit would be pretty good for Endura because it's a fairy, so hopefully that unit can replace Alpha on the fairy team, and you can actually do it with more accessible units. But if that's not the next character is Tristan, so now you gotta wait another 2 weeks, and if this dual Elaine Bond garbage, if it doesn't work on Endura, then you gotta wait another month pretty much for a character to replace Alpha, because you need someone in the game that's easy access to replace Alpha. Otherwise, this fear of missing out tactic that Netmarble's doing for this collab is insanely high. And you know it's a fear of missing out tactic, because if you saw the gacha revenue website, Grandcross made like 1.3 million less this month than last month. I wonder why. The collab's not that fucking popular, but they literally made less money than last month, and now they're on a decline. They only made $3 million this month, or the April revenue. May just started, so yes, on April revenue they only made 3 mil. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But this is like, it's bad in my opinion. I don't like this update. I never did. I don't like the characters on how like the characters are cool kit wise, but I don't like Eminence In Shadow as an anime that much, so I guess I got a little bit of bias there. But genuinely speaking, outside of my bias, I'm talking strictly about the predatory ass update that is this collab, and it's not good. Because again, I can show you screenshots on screenshots on screenshots on screenshots of so many people going 550 gems deep and not pulling a single collab character, and they're on the verge of uninstalling because the rates are so shit. And then like, I see people rage baiting on like Twitter. I'm not gonna mention names, but I've seen people post like they do one multi, and like, so they get the 30 out of 600, and they didn't pull anything, so they're like, oh, this game is shit. I'm like, nigga, you did one multi, shut up, you sound stupid. But literally, the people that did 500 in and they haven't pulled a single collab character, and then, you know, I am one of those examples. I'm a victim to that personally, because obviously I'm on my 3rd fucking rotation now, and I only have them 1/6. But like, it's sad, dog. It's so fucking bad. And unfortunately, Netmarble's not gonna change anything because they're fucking stupid. But it is what it is. Hey, listen. All I can say is, if you're still summoning on the Shadow collab, just try to get Alpha and Beta. At the very least, try to get Beta. Beta's gonna be aging like Find One for fairies. Alpha's gonna fall off really soon as a DPS support. But Alpha and Beta, you fucking need them. If you don't have Sid, don't go for Sid. Especially if you don't play PvP. Because from what I heard, he's a hard 2.0. But literally, just don't do it, bro. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your effort. And genuinely speaking, Alpha and Beta has more usability for the PvE side of things than Sid. So again, if you have no collab characters and you're gonna get through the rotation and you want to know who you should pick for your character, pick Beta. Number 1 priority is Beta. Number 2 priority is Alpha. Number 3 priority is Sid. It's that simple. And if you don't pull them, just don't even worry about it, because Endura is again, it's a shit show. It really is. Like, it takes way too long to get minimum resources at best. It's just not worth your time or effort. So I'm gonna advise y'all to not worry about doing Endura. And if this Bon and Elaine comes out and it can replace Alpha, it's a beautiful day. And this video is irrelevant at the end of the month. But if this Bon Elaine unit, or this hypothetical fairy unit that's gonna drop after Tristan, does not replace Alpha, and it replaces Lancelot or King for some fucking reason, then we're cooked. Then Endura's literally impossible. It is. But hey, listen, I know there's gonna be a lot of devil's advocate about this video, because obviously not everything I'm saying is 100% true when it comes to the teams that you can use for Endura. Because yeah, there's gonna be some people out there like, oh, I can beat it with this team, I can beat it with that team. But that's because you can beat it doesn't mean it's the best route, bro. I'm not finna go sit there for 20 minutes with a goddess team when I can just summon and, you know, get alpha and do it in 5. I'm like, no, I'm not fucking doing that. Sorry, pal. But regardless, that's the video for today. That's a little rant slash commentary take. And if y'all want to see more videos like this, it'll just like commentary about the good news of Grandcross, the bad news of Grandcross, the good, bad, ugly, Twitter beef, because that's a thing apparently, and shit like that. We're gonna start throwing those in, because genuinely speaking, I don't care to make PvP videos. They're not fun. Every single Grandcross creator and their mom does it. Every team's been used, every ally's been used, every unit's been used. I don't care. I just don't. So commentary route might be a little bit more interesting for me, because it lets me get my thoughts out about the game, because I do love this game. It is my favorite gacha game out, period. I don't give a fuck what no one says. And I've played a decent amount of gacha games. I played Genshin, Honkai Star Rail, Honkai Impact 3rd, Zenless. Yes, I played the Hoyo games. I tried Wuthering Waves. I hated it, and I've seen it's been getting better, so I might try it again later down the line. Maybe when a cool unit that isn't zany comes out that really grabs my attention, I'll play it, because that's kind of what I did with Star Rail. I saw Aventurine drop, and I was like, oh yeah, I need to play this game now, because Aventurine looks fucking amazing. And then I just reinstalled Star Rail because I want to get Cypher. Anyways, that's a whole different tangent for a whole different video. Point is, this is my favorite gacha, and I really don't want to see it fail, even though it's already dying as it is. Everyone thinks it's dying. It is, man. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. It's a dying breed right now, especially with Origins around the corner. This game was gonna be irrelevant in a few months, but literally, I don't want it to go. I love Seven Deadly Sins as an IP. I love Grandcross as a game, and I just don't want to see it fail. It is what it is. I have so many people in my corner telling me to stop playing this game because how bad this game is, or how predatory this game could be or is getting because of power creep and shit. I don't care. I don't listen to him, bro. I want to play the game because I want to play the game. It's just that simple. I love Seven Deadly Sins. I love Fortnite Seed Apocalypse. I love Seven Deadly Sins Grandcross. It's that simple. I don't care how bad this game gets. I will be here to cover it. Period. I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it like, oh, this game is shit, and then next video I'm gonna be like, oh, this game is amazing. Like, yes, the game has its ups and downs. As I said in my honest opinion to Grandcross, this is a C tier game at best, but it's still my favorite gacha, period. Anyways, that's gonna be the video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know how y'all feel about this update in the comments below. And if you want to join my Discord, it is also in the description. We are chilling over there. We are family over there. We vibing over there. And of course, shout out to my mods for again helping me do my next rotation for the collab. And I did pull all 3 of the characters. I am building them as we speak. They're all HP defense, and I'm working on it now. I'm not gonna make videos on it because the collabs are already irrelevant, and again, everyone already made content on it, so my content doesn't really matter about that unless I found something stupid that I actually enjoy to play, which I probably won't because I'm like Sid. But yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time, and it's just that simple. So that being said, and my game just completely froze because whatever, that's gonna be the video. Like, subscribe, and we will see y'all in the next one. Peace, and have a wonderful day.